Let me greet the DG who has just called me to the podium, the Chief Directors that are present, particularly Chief Director Dr. Nkcobo and Mrs. Kumele. Let me greet the District Directors, abafundi abayishumi nambili. Who are 12 in number, and that's quite symbolic. Let me also greet all the CMC heads and the second managers. It's quite an honor for me to be invited to this session where you will be reflecting on the work that you've done in 2025, and the fact that you are reflecting shows and means that you know that 2025 is history. Even though it is like that, we must still say thank you very much for the dedication, the passion that you have shown in carrying the department through very difficult times and putting it where it has never been before. I think since the first year I took over, we've never been where we were the previous year. In 2022, when we were at 83%, that was the first time we were there. Following year, when we were at 86%, it was the first time we were there. When we got to 89%, it was the first time. Now we're at 90%, 90.6%. It's the first time we were there. The only thing we repeated at least was being number 2 in the country. We were number 2 twice. So we're number 3 once, then number 2 twice. Now we are number 1 in the country. And that's not a small thing given our numbers. It's not a small achievement because it's not our achievement only as a province, but it is the achievement of the country as a whole. Imagine if we had done well, but we fell on to 88%, for example. 88% is not bad, is it? But if we had just fallen to 88%, the country would not have averaged 88%, which it has averaged now. The country says that it's the first time that they get to that we get to 88% as a country. But it's all thanks to us as KZN that we are there. So ninani lungelo I don't have impagamo, but I do find myself sometimes we must remain humble, although we have achieved what we have achieved. And we must also thank our principals and our teachers, because they are the foot soldiers who are responsible for the good results that we have. We must thank also everyone in the department, cleaners, drivers, everyone who is in the department, because they have, in their own ways, contributed to the good results that we've had. Leading to a situation where people are asking us, how did we do it, and how are we continuing to excel given the circumstances that we're facing. And the circumstances that we're facing are well known. It is the financial challenges of the department, which are such that we are able to pay teachers and we are able to pay you as officials of the department. But after doing so, we remain with almost nothing to do anything else. That is why we started to pay norms, allocations for schools. That is why we started to pay for basic services like electricity and water. And that is why we started to pay even for minor repairs in our buildings in particular, at least in our schools, because of the infrastructure education grant, we are able to, at least to do some repairs, although it can never be enough given the fact that sometimes we are prone to natural disasters. In spite of it all, we have a very important resource, which is ourselves. We have a team that believes that as long as we are still alive, we are going to do well. And like I said yesterday, it's not the first time that we face odds, heavy odds against us, and still succeed. I was telling a colleague of mine who was talking about our achievement and our feat. And I said to him, you must remember one thing about us. We are a generation of sons and daughters, who are sons and daughters of heroes who, against all odds, have always triumphed against all odds. Just a week and a half ago, on the 22nd of January, in Nkosinathi district, there was a commemoration of the birth of Nkosinathi. And when you think about that, you have to remember that our ancestors went there with spears and shields against heavy artillery of the British Army, and they still triumphed. So we are that generation. We must not forget that ubunzima into esijwayele ukubhekana nayo. Doesn't mean though it's fair that we face such difficulties. But when we succeed against all these problems, I think we revoke the spirit of our ancestors and the blood that flows in our veins. 2026 is upon us and has started, and we must thank you for the early start of our schools, particularly those that have NSC. I mean, the NSC learners started on the 5th of January in most schools in the province. We want to thank you for that. Amongst you colleagues, there are second managers and CMC heads who are acting and you are not getting acting allowance. It's one of the battles that I promise